Suave.
I've been in my bag for a while, I'm invincible. Story of a young boss, grinding shit get critical. Calling on my bros one time, cause you special. I had some hoop dreams of right rounds for my mentor. Every target that I shoot is on point like a pencil. Different route, changed relationships, I'm so sorry. Came up from the trenches and I made it, I say hardly. Now
Been there, right, Drew?
Atlanta? Yeah, I was there for AGP after I crossed.
Okay. Oh, you AP, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I forgot. Your brother AP too?
Just me.
You crossed.
Fall 17, Zeta chapter. Up in yeah, citywide chapter.
Citywide.
Mm-hmm.
Your brother ain't want to get down?
Nah, he ain't want to get down, man. But I was like,
you was AP, bro.
For real?
Yeah, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah, bro. I be thinking about it all the time. Like,
We gotta cover that too. Talk smack. You know
Nah, facts.
The noops.
Hey.
Yeah, ice cold nigga right here, man.
Alrighty, guys, we are back with another episode of the What's in Your Bag podcast presented by Bet Online. As always, I'm your host, Andrew Robinson, joined by my co-host, Isaiah Eisnoff, a.k.a. the Mixed Mamba. Now, before we get into the nitty-gritty, man, this is a special occasion because we have our first ever in-studio guest here in L.A., man. So, first of all, get a little round of applause for that.
Love.
But this is somebody who I'm super, super excited to have this conversation with today. Somebody who we go back a few years, man.
Yeah,
But, you know, for everybody who's watching, I'm sure you guys already know, man, but this is somebody who is super talented, obviously actor, model, hooper. I know you know what I'm saying, you retired now, you know, but I know you still get busy, get buckets, man. But we are pleased to be joined by Duby Maduegbunam on the podcast today.
Thank you, man. Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys. This is dope, man.
No doubt.
Sure.
No doubt, man. Now, like we said, man, retired hooper. You know, you put the ball down, you know, a little while ago. But I know for sure all hoopers, man, you know, you still got it for sure. So I want to know, man, can you tell people back in your playing days, man, if you had like a player comp, who would you kind of model your game after? Can you tell people about your hoops game back in the day, man?
Dang, that's a great question, man. I used to like random players, man, and I think that's probably why I didn't go far, probably maybe as far as I wanted to, because like I feel like I should have been emulating people like Jordan and Kobe and things of that nature, but my ass was like watching tape on Rudy Gay. I mean, Rudy Gay was a great player.
Man, he's a hooper.
Hold on now. Yeah. I mean, you know what I'm saying, bro? You know, he just retired. You know, Rudy was one of my favorite players, bro. And then Russ. Anyone that really knows me, like primetime Russ or OKC Russ, that was my guy.
Okay.
Okay. Lots of hustle playing.
Yeah, just, you know, getting downhill, you know, coast to coast, athletic, you know what I'm saying, attacking the rim kind of thing. You know, spot up shooting at the time, Russ, you know.
Okay. I don't know about that no more. Russ spot up shooting.
That was a couple years ago.
At the time, word. Definitely, man. So,
Got you.
So I would say Russ.
You know, we were talking just now a minute ago. We were almost teammates. It was like this close. I was transferring from one school in 2016. I think the same time you went to Morehouse.
Where was you transferred from?
I was at Gannon University in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Also Division II.
Wow.
So it was this close to me going to Morehouse also. So I want to know what it was like playing there for you. Like, did you? Everyone says, you know, lots of great things about being there and the school, but you know, what was your playing and school like there?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that's crazy that, you know, we could have potentially been teammates.
That would have been nuts.
For sure.
Life is crazy.
Definitely, bro. Small world, man. The hoops where it's all connected. You know how it is. But yeah, man, my Morehouse experience was amazing, man. You know, got to play there. You know, play at a pretty good high level, man, and went there as a starter, bro, and really got to. You know, we won a championship my junior year, so that was great. Also, regional championship or conference championship, I believe it was. Also, that same year, we hold now the best record in Morris history, 25-3, and we had an 18-0 season. My point guard had like a 10-day contract with the Knicks, like out of D2. You know what I'm saying? So like, it was a big year. And just my overall experience, just playing basketball, was definitely one to remember, bro.
Got you. I gotta throw this out there real quick because you a champion. I got a couple of champions under my belt.
Okay.
I mean, Drew the only one over here. You're not in the ball.
It's okay, man.
It's
you know what's crazy? That was my first championship. I used to always tell myself up until that point, like, I got to win the chip before I'm done. Like, I got a ring. I got to get a ring. Like, I never won no Rex in the league. No, like, I don't recall no AAU championship, nothing, man. You know, so, you know, when we won that regional championship my junior year, I was excited.
That's how I feel, man. Because I was telling him the other day, I don't got, like I said, no height. We lost in the state semifinal in high school.
Okay.
Went to Putnam Science Academy, top 10, prep school in the country that year.
In the States, we won a region. We cut the nets down for the regional championship.
Facts.
So
We did win a regional championship.
Okay.
That felt good, but we had our eyes set on the States, though.
Yeah,
so it
yeah,
really
yeah.
wasn't,
Facts.
consolation
But
I
ended up
forgot
losing.
you went to Putnam Science, man. Prep
Shout out
school,
New England,
man.
Nipsack basketball.
Shout out, Nipsack basketball, man. Best high school basketball in the world. You dig?
Hey, a lot of legends came out of it. A lot of NBA players, man. When
of
I was
people.
there, bro, I played with Hamidou Diallo, NBA dunk contest champion. Donovan Mitchell, Jalen Adams.
Jalen Adams from my city. Yep.
Bro, Brewster had like 7 NBA or 7 high major Division I dudes on the roster. Terrence, man. Shout out T-Man at Tilton.
So we played T-Man twice a year. He went to Tilton Academy. I went to Kimberly Academy. So ironically, we both was in New Hampshire. So we used to actually guard each other. So, when I saw it.
Like, who was giving who work? What was the deal?
Man, what's crazy? T-Man always been good, bro. I think that was T-Man back in the day when he had the afro. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if y'all know. Yeah, they also had another great player from my city, Wayne Selden at the time.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Shout out Roxbury.
Okay.
But T-Man, I'm happy for all the success that he's gotten thus far, man. Like he's definitely putting the city on his back, man. So we're all proud of him for real.
Is Jalen from there too?
Jalen's from Roxbury.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
T-Man's from Lowell, for
Okay.
real. But
yeah.
40 minutes out of Boston, man. But out here it's all Boston for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, nah, for sure. Man. But like I said, though, no rings, but hopefully, the next ring I get, hopefully, when I propose, feel me? That'll be my most important ring.
Hey, man, that's the most important one.
That's the most important ring.
That.
So, hey, ladies,
like
if
that.
you watching this, tap in. But I want to ask you, man, because obviously, from the outside looking in, so I had a unique experience, obviously going to Quinnipiac up in Connecticut for 4 years, and then being able to go to Coppin for my master's and kind of getting that HBCU feel.
Dope.
And I pledged at Quinnipiac, you know what I mean? Greatest fraternity on earth, Alpha Phi Fraternity Incorporated.
Said no man never. Said no man never. Come on,
But
man.
I wanted to ask you, bro, because from the outside looking in, it's like, bro, I feel like going to Morehouse is. My cousin went to Spelman. You know what I mean? Like Cross Delta at Spelman. Her husband went to Morehouse. Is the Alpha, best fraternity in the world. You know what I mean?
Come on, man.
And it's crazy.
K side to man. Shout out to the noobs, bro. Let's stop the craziness, man.
Y'all need to stroll on camera.
Can you imagine?
Stroll off is crazy. But I want to talk to you about what that experience was like. At Morehouse, bro, as far as like the Greek life, pledging the D9, bro. Obviously, for those who don't know, Morehouse is a all-boys school. Obviously, Spelman, all women. And I feel like I was so jealous of just Morehouse being down there, bro. Like, obviously, you got Clark down there. You got Georgia State down there, Georgia Tech. There's so many schools. So, I mean, it's just, so can you speak on that experience, man? And just, I feel like as a black man, as a D9 member, it's like Morehouse is like one of them schools where it's just like, damn. You know what I mean? Like, that's an incredible opportunity.
Yeah, man. Morehouse College was probably the best decision I ever made in my life, man. Or one of them. You know what I'm saying? Of course, going there, the game of basketball was what brought me to Morehouse, right? Just knowing that I had an opportunity to play. Coach Brewer was the coach at the time, man. He reached out to me when I was coming out of community college, and he was like, hey, man, we got a spot for you on the team, man. You know what I'm saying? And right then and there, bro, I was probably like 95% sure that I wanted to go to Morehouse, bro, because I was always thinking beyond basketball.
Yep.
I was like, damn, what can I do outside of basketball? When basketball's said and done, what school is going to propel me to be successful in the world, right, just as a black man, bro? Yeah. So I've always heard great things about Morehouse. I always knew that Morehouse was pretty much the beacon of developing successful, excellent, distinguished black men in the world, bro. And
really,
and I wanted to be a part of that. You know what I'm saying, man? And when I got there, bro, it was nothing short of that, bro. You know what I'm saying? For those years, bro, I was championed and celebrated for being in the skin that I'm in.
Yeah.
Every single day, the support, the community was amazing. And they truly gave me the tools and everything I needed to navigate in a world where, like, our potential is often challenged. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, anybody that knows me, man, I love the house, man. Shout out to the house. Greatest experience in playing ball there. To speak on Greek life there, man, that was crazy. Crazy experience for me because, I was pledging as well. I was playing on the basketball team. You know what I'm saying? So,
different.
Yeah.
Different grind.
You know what I'm saying? But, shout out to my brother, Kosa. He's the one who introduced me to Greek life, way back when I was younger. So I kind of went to Morehouse knowing that I wanted to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And ironically enough, like, Greek life is like everything in the AUC, bro. Like, it's kind of like, in my opinion, a little bit too glorified. Like, I ain't gonna hold you. Like, being Greek was probably bigger than low key playing basketball sometimes, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like,
for real though.
There was more people at my probate than it was at my basketball game sometimes, bro. You know what I'm saying? So
that's different.
That's different, bro. Yeah, the Greek life of the South is crazy, man. But you know, I'm grateful that I was able to pledge Cap Officer of Fraternity Incorporated, man. One of the best things that ever happened to me. I have 24 line brothers, and just just the community, bro. Right? It was like I always tell people like Morehouse is a fraternity within itself, right? I can go anywhere in the world and connect with the Morehouse brother, bro. But like Kappa was like just another even extensive brotherhood as well, man. So I'm grateful for the experience.
So I got a quick follow up on that. You mentioned how you went to Morehouse because you mentioned how like they develop men, they develop leaders, and like you knew how kind of in the back of your mind, like, all right, regardless of basketball, if I go to Morehouse, everything's gonna be cool. So like, I'm curious. I feel like we all, at least from my perspective, like most people, you grow up, like, man, I'm trying to go to the league. When I go to college, I'm about to try to. I was at Quinnipiac. I'm like, man, I'm about to be the next CJ McCollum, Steph Curry. I'm going from QU to the league.
Something.
So I want to know, when you went to Morehouse with that in mind, like were you trying to get to the league, or did you already kind of figure out at that point that like, all right, maybe I'm gonna go a different route with my life?
Nah, man, it was definitely basketball, man. You know what I'm saying? Like it was all ball this life, man. You know, I went to prep school, had played EYBL, had went to JUCO. It was all basketball, man. But when I got to Morehouse, man, I was just so inspired by my brothers, bro. They were just achieving in every field. You know what I'm saying? And that's when I kind of realized that, like, damn, bro, like, what am I going to do outside of basketball, right? How can I also impact the world outside of the sport I'm playing, right? It was because the people that was part of the organizations, that was part of the Glee Club or SGA, you know what I'm saying, whatever it may be, but they was just as lit as the athletes. You know what I'm saying? Again, this is a D2 school, right? This is not Kentucky, bro. You know what I'm saying, bro? So I'm like, it was really an iron sharp as iron, right? I had line brothers, or Mars brothers junior year who had 6-figure jobs already set up already, coming out of college, you know what I'm saying? So that was inspiring for me. But I was like, man, I know if all else fails, like I need to figure something out, man. And they kind of being in that environment every day just kind of shifted my mindset, like just, how can I leave a legacy outside of basketball as well? Yeah. And that's kind of how I segued into acting and becoming a film major at Morehouse.
Yeah, that's crazy because for me, it's so different. Like I told you I transferred to Lemoyne College instead of almost going to Morehouse. And this is a small PWI in Syracuse. And,
for sure.
There's nothing really jumping up there except for the basketball. We had a lacrosse team, too, that was national champions. Like, they lit, for lacrosse, but it's like, it's never like anything close to that. Like, the Glee Club, I don't even know if we had one. Like, no one's popping out to anything except for, some sporting events. So to hear that, that's dope. That's really dope.
Man, it was different for me, man. It was definitely different for me. Like I said, man, I think we got the most love and support like that one year, especially that junior year when we went 18. When we went 18-0, yeah, that was like my teacher was like, man, it's okay, man. Just get the assignment in. Get the assignment in next time. I was like, damn, this was what it feel like I do. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? So,
we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Right. So it was a shock for me too, bro. It was a shock for me too, bro. Again, man, I had never been to the South. Prior to Morehouse, the JUCO I went to was in Kansas. Like, I'm originally from Boston, so like just that whole culture.
That's a whole eye-opening experience.
Yeah, man, it was a culture shock for sure.
Yeah. Now you mentioned just now a little bit, kind of finding your love for acting at Morehouse and kind of discovering that. So like, I want to kind of get into that a little bit. Like, for you, was it like a singular moment that you can remember where you were like, this is what I want to pursue? Were you like, watching a movie as a youngin', like, damn, man, like, go Denzel, maybe I could go ahead and be that. You know what I mean? Like, how did that love for acting come? And, obviously you majored in film at Morehouse, so it's like, I feel like you obviously kind of had it on your mind a little bit, but just talk about the development of kind of how acting came into the picture.
Yeah, man, not in a million years where I would ever think that I would be an actor here today, bro. I'm saying, like you mentioned, just basketball was life, and that's all I was thinking about going into Morehouse. It wasn't until like it was time to pick a major, and at the time I'm like, man, what's a smooth, calm major that I can do that's not gonna like distract me too much from basketball, but that is fun, right? Because like, sometimes the politics of the game can get in the way of basketball and things of that nature, bro. So I just wanted everything I was doing outside of basketball to be P and be super enjoyable for me, right? And there was a film, pretty much what was a film and media major, bro. And
yeah, I heard y'all just watching movies in film majors, right? Is that sound about right?
Nah, not really, bro. I mean, at least I'm more.
I don't know.
We definitely like had like the art of filmmaking classes, and we had like creative writing and politics, Hollywood and politics classes, and You know what I'm saying? Learning like we was watching black and white films and things of that nature, bro. So it was kind of extensive. It was extensive.
There was some more to it.
Yeah, it was more to it, man.
Gotcha.
So really, to be honest with you, I thought I was gonna go in and it was gonna be sweet, bro. But then it was like it was legit. Like it was some hard work. You know what I'm saying? You know, it was some hard work, man. And it wasn't until then, when I decided to be a film major, you know, I kind of just really started falling in love with it, man. And it wasn't until then I was like, man, so if basketball didn't work out, what does a career in entertainment look like? And that's when I first pondered upon that. You know what I'm saying? You know, just being a film major is definitely not something I thought of like before Morehouse.
Yeah.
You know, I watched the movies growing up and I followed some actors' careers, so I was like, man, maybe this will be cool. You know what I'm saying? But you know, we had an assignment specifically within our major where we had to write, produce, direct, and cast a short film for a project, an end of the year project, and of course, we learned all of these skill sets within the major and our matriculation. And, you know, it was coming down to the point where I needed the cast for my short film. And I was down like an actor. And I casted myself. And that was really my first time acting. You know, this is back in 2018, 2019. And I just remember, like, I just wanted to get the assignment done. But I remember at the end of, like, the film, and, you know, I was filming, I really enjoyed it. You know, I was like, damn, man, that was fun, man. Like,
So that was the moment.
That
Before
was
that, acting wasn't even like the part of your radar.
Nah, it wasn't. Even before that, I think I wanted to be like a casting director.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or a writer. You know what I'm saying?
Behind the scenes.
Something behind the scenes, exactly. Because I was like, man, I don't want to be an actor. Even though I have a background in modeling, you know what I'm saying? I was like, I didn't want to be an actor.
Yeah.
But, you know, I was just put in a position where I needed to cast myself. I needed a body, and it was like next man up. And I casted myself, and, you know, people was telling me, hey, man, you look like a natural. You may be able to take this up. And I was like, for real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was like, word. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Now we got a lot.
Yeah, man. So that's how that happened.
That's fire. So like, I feel like in my mind, right, it's like you go from making that, you know, obviously the short film as a project and stuff like that, and having to cast yourself. So how do you go from like, all right, like this is gonna be something that, you know, I do for a project, so like, all right, now I'm actually trying to pursue this as a career, as a profession. Like, when did that, you know, switch flip in your mind? Did you kind of have to like, all right, let me go find an agency? Like, what was that whole process like?
So that next semester, I believe I took some classes at Clark Atlanta University. So in the AUC, you're able to cross-register and take classes. So I pretty much hit the ground running. I was just super interested in the craft, and I started watching more movies, started studying more actors, and started reaching out to my friends who were actors on campus, and learned about headshots and getting the acting reel and resume and things of that nature, and how to get involved in the other student films that was happening on campus.
Yep.
So that's pretty much how it started, man.
Smooth. So obviously, so for you, when you think about, obviously you came a long way from then to now, you know what I mean? We're gonna obviously touch on that as well. But I want to talk to you about kind of like that first like major role, like getting that first big break in acting. You know what I mean? Do you feel like that was the short film that you did, Stricken, or do you think that was the Tyler Perry thing? Like, how do you, what do you, in your mind, do you feel, all right, man, like, you know what I mean, my first kind of big opportunity? And how did that like feel, you know, when you first stepped in that situation? You know, going from, obviously, like you said, just starting from a class project, and then, all right, now I'm like really doing this for real.
Yeah. I would say that Stricken was a great opportunity for me. It was, I believe Apple Beats was doing like a partnership with HBCUs, and one of my Morehouse brothers got selected to develop a short film, and he casted me as the lead. So I think that was my first time I saw myself in that light, that, man, I can see myself leading a show or leading a movie, whatever it is. So I'm very grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah.
But definitely I would say my first speaking lines on TV was with Tyler Perry and All the Queen's Men in season 1.
Yep.
I believe I filmed 3 episodes, but I think it came out to be 2 episodes because things get cut off sometimes. That was just a full circle moment for me. Just, you know, I grew up looking up to Tyler Perry, watching all of his work. My parents, my mother specifically, she loves Tyler Perry. And, you know, funny thing is, when I first started acting and told my mom I wanted to do, like, study film, you know, I'm Nigerian, so, you know, they're not always the most supportive of the creatives.
Yeah,
my mom was like,
I'm a doctor, a lawyer.
Yeah, doctor, lawyer. I was like, Mom, I want to study film. She said, film? What is film? There's no money in film. I thought, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but that conversation probably happened once or twice. My mom's actually my biggest supporter in what I do. She supported me moving to LA, and she supports me to this day. And I just remember when she started supporting me, she would always say, like, you need to go out, you need to go to Tyler Perry Studios. You need to go and call Tyler Perry. It doesn't work like that, right?
Yeah. Call Tyler Perry.
Right. You're like, you got to audition, mom. You got to get selected and everything, right? So
what happened? You didn't just call him up? Or what?
Nah, so I had an agent at the time who was able to, land me the audition. And then I booked that co-star recurring role. And it was just full circle moment because, the same person that was my first speaking line, first time I'm on TV. Yeah. And the same person that my mom was raving about that we all grew up watching, it was the first person I got to work with. So, and it's like, he's the most influential black filmmaker in the industry, man. And I'm just so grateful every single day,
And you said you met him, right? That was like a brief meeting, or how did that?
Yeah, it was super brief, man. So one thing about Tyler Perry Studios, if you don't know, is that they film like really fast, and it's about like 4 shows filming at a time, a movie maybe, So the way he works, he works really fast. You don't get a lot of takes. For me, I actually enjoy it, right? You move on fast, and it really challenges you to just be honest in your choices and to like go on set with confidence. I just, for me, it works out. And I just remember when I got to set, he was a director, and he was like telling me what to do. So he was like, so hey, Duby, this is what you're gonna do. And he called me by my name, and like that threw me off because I was like, damn, this guy knows me. Like this, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is Tyler Perry we talking about, right?
A lot of
like
names around for sure.
Absolutely, bro. And one thing about him, bro, that moment that I was on set, I noticed that he knew everybody's name. Like, so just such a stand-up and commendable guy, and I'm super grateful for him, man. So that's how that went, man. And then, of course, after I rapped, I thanked him, just for the opportunity, man.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
Yeah, man.
I feel like Tyler, first of all, I feel people always say that about, like, whether it's LeBron or whatever, like they said about LeBron too, like he knows people's names and like he'll shake your hand.
Right.
It's like you don't think in your mind that somebody at that level of Tyler Perry would like know your name and like, you know what I mean?
Nah,
like
for real, that I felt seen, man, and it was just it's like, damn, how did I get here? Kind of moment,
Yeah. Crazy. Something similar like that though. It always leave an impression. It always leave a great impression with you.
Absolutely, bro.
Every time.
Absolutely.
So I feel like obviously going from there, man. I want to talk about 2K. Because that's obviously an incredible opportunity. The Hooper, all of us Hoopers up here, man. You go up, we on the sticks.
Everybody grow up, you want to be in 2K. That's it.
Facts.
On a cover, or let me be in the game. What's the
man? And I feel like I want to get your perspective on this, but it's like for me, because obviously, like I said, we've been tapping it for a minute, man. Like when I seen the opportunity, I was like, damn, bro, that's really dope. You know what I mean? And
Appreciate it, bro. Thank you, man.
No doubt. And as I've gotten older, bro, I've realized, me and my brother talk about this all the time. It's like, everybody got dreams of going to the league. Like I'm trying to make it to the NBA and like things like that. And I got to shout out my brother Trey Fields for this. Obviously my twin brother Aaron for this because we've all talked about different ways to like, quote unquote, make it to the league. You know what I mean? Like my brother right now, he's coaching for the Cleveland Cavaliers. You know what I mean? Like,
love that for him, man.
Crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like he's up there. Like I'm watching the Boston game the other day, man. I'm seeing him in warm-ups. Somebody took a picture of him. I was like, dang, bro, he's really like he there. You know what I mean? On the court,
amazing,
like my brother Trey Fields is the content creator and. Now he does a bunch of work with the NBA. I just saw him. He was on a flight in Dubai for the NBA Emirates Cup that they just did the game over there. He's over there, and he did a video at All-Star Weekend, like because he did some stuff for the Rising Stars game, and it was like, like making it to the league in another way. You know what I mean? And I felt that's kind of the same thing I felt when I seen that for you, man. It's like, like we all had these dreams of trying to get to the NBA and make it. And it's like, for you. Having played, first of all, you said earlier, like, you didn't get to a high level. Division II basketball is a very high level of basketball. So don't get it twisted, man, because folks be out here tripping.
For sure.
I think it's 0.2%, if I remember correctly. Like 0.2% of high school athletes go D2,
D1.
0.1, go high, go 1, Division
It's a high level. You know what I mean? So for you to be able to get to there, and then, eventually get to 2K, it might not have looked like getting to the league in the way we envisioned it, and when we was in the driveway at 8 years old.
Right.
But, like, you made it. You know what I mean?
Bro, you took the words out of my mouth, man. That's exactly how I felt when I got the opportunity, man. Honestly, that was probably the most full circle opportunity out of everything I've done so far. Probably one of the biggest blessings, bro, just because I grew up, like you said, playing 2K with my brother, like throwing the pillow at the at the TV, and, getting mad, bro, and like playing with my player and things of that nature, man. So to be able to be the antagonist into my player, it was really trippy, bro. It was really trippy, man. And that was one of my favorite sets that I played on. And just like you mentioned, man, this was like everybody wanted to be in 2K, right? We wanted to get to the league. So like, man, what would your rating be in 2K, right? You'll play yourself, you'll create yourself and give yourself all these attributes, man. And not knowing that, like, God had a plan for me to get to 2K, but not through basketball, but through acting. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it's like, you know, I just can't fathom that. Man.
That's super. That's there forever like that too. That's there forever. Yeah, that's dope.
Appreciate it, man.
Tell us about Shep. Tell us about Shep, man.
Shep
Get into
Owens,
this. Tell us about Shep, man.
Hey, man, shout out everybody at the 2K family, man. You know, funny story how that happened, man. Like, of course, you know, my dream and goal is to do TV and film, of course, and I'm open to video games now. But prior to that, I didn't even know that was possible, right? Because I was still kind of new in the game, and my manager sent me this audition. It was for a video game. I remember calling them like, man, I don't want to do no video game. Like, I'm trying to be on TV and film. I want to be a movie star. You know what I'm saying? And my manager was like, man, you know, the money good. Like this, you know, think they was filming for like 6 months. It was like, I think you should do it.
Yeah.
Come to find out, ended up being 2K. You know what I'm saying? So, you know,
film for 6 months.
Longer than that. I think just my character. So I was Shep Owens. So pretty much I was each year the my player they have a protagonist, and then they have an antagonist, and pretty much the protagonist is the my player that you can actually change your face to yourself and play with that person. Yep. But I'm the antagonist. I'm the person talking shit to the dude the whole time. You know what I'm saying? And so people see my face. You know what I'm saying? So it was pretty cool, man. And that was just fun, man. That was a fun script, man. It was just kind of like how we talk now, right? Just playing basketball, talking shit to you. Yeah. Hey, man, shut up, man. Get out of here, man. I'll dunk on you. Like, that was my character, you know what I'm saying? And so it came second nature to me, bro. I had the opportunity to do the mocap and have the camera and the whole bodysuit thing. And acting with that, with a camera on your head was, you know, an adjustment for me. But it was a dope experience, man. And like people to this day, they hate Shep Owens. If you know what I'm saying, if you look at my comments, they'll be like, man, I just dropped 30 on your dumb ass. Like, man, I remember I posted a picture on Twitter, like selfie and like some BTS of my shoe, and was like, hey man, this is the full circle. Kind of what I just said now, full circle for me. I played basketball growing up, X1Z, XYZ. Man, somebody commented on the tweet, was like, man, you the biggest dickhead of all time, man. Shut up. I hate your ass. Like, I'm like, damn. Like, it was a sentimental post, too. So I was just like, damn. Like, oh, they take this serious. Someone had quoted the tweet and said that, man. So I was like, man, that's so funny, man.
Yeah, you gotta have like a Shep profile. Be like, yeah, me in the park.
Yeah.
Me in the park. Check up in real life then.
I know you had to cop. What was that moment when you first like? Did you cop the game? Did you buy it?
Yeah, they gave us the game.
Oh, duh,
for sure.
So when you first seen yourself on there, like, what was the emotions like, man? Was you cracking up? Was it just like, you know what I mean? Like, take me through that.
Man, it was just like, damn, to see myself animated, bro, and it really looked like me with my mannerisms because, you know, it was my voice, it was the movements I did on set, it was everything, you know, my facial expressions. So it was just like, just trippy to see myself. They did put blonde hair on me. You know, I think that was interesting for me, you know what I'm saying? You know, creative choice, but yeah, it was just grateful, man. Just like, wow, like look at myself, like just that's me as a video game person, you know, like never thought that would happen.
Yeah, I always wondered how they did that too. Like, I didn't know they shot for like such a long time like that, over 6 months or even like real acting. I didn't know kind of how they were putting all that together. Like, how different was that from doing like, you know, a Tyler Perry show or just a regular show in general versus like doing it for 2K?
So on a regular show, so Tyler Perry shoots fast. He's like very unique in that sense, where like he's one of the only filmmakers in the industry that shoots at the rate that he does, and that's why has generated so much success and able to, like, you know, just change a lot of actors' lives. You know, like myself. 2K was pretty similar. It was a pretty quick shooting. To be honest with you, I haven't actually been on a set where it's like you get 10 takes or 30 takes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, you know, because usually that's how it is. Like, you get, you know, a certain amount of takes to, you know, in one scene.
Like, what do you mean? Like 2-3 takes maybe?
So TP's usually one take.
One take?
Yeah, TP's one take. So like, if you
don't mess up, one take.
Yeah, you know, and if you mess up, you know, you start over, bro. But like, it's usually one take, and if he likes it, if he says moving on, then he, you know, pretty much he liked it. You know, he trusts you as an artist to make, you know, bold choices, and you know, it's the craft, man. So I haven't had an opportunity to be on a set that's not like that. I'm looking forward to it, but you know, me personally, I don't mind the one takes, the two takes kind of thing, just because it just forces me to move confidently, right, and be prominent in, you know, the choices I make, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Because you said you had a background in like theater a little bit too, right?
Yeah. So
that's really one take.
For sure.
We were talking about this earlier. If you mess up, you know, you got to figure it out.
Keep going.
You know, you got to figure out a way to
improv
keep
something.
It
wing it.
Yeah, you know, like there's no retakes, there's no cut. You know, And I also believe that every actor should have that background on the stage, or at least take a theater class. And I'm grateful that I had that experience at Morehouse. When I first started, was able to do some work on the stage.
So man, I gotta take it there, man. I gotta ask you because this whole one take thing, it got me thinking. This is a conversation that I have a lot offline, or in group chats.
Oh man.
And I gotta ask your opinion because I've always wanted to know this, man. So I've always been the type of guy. I be watching TV. Let's say Power, for example. This is a big thing, Lala was up there. She up there hooking up with folks on TV. And I'm like, yo, if I'm mellow, cuz, I'm whooping ass. I'm whooping ass. I'm coming through the TV screen. And I be thinking in my mind, like, yo, so are they doing these takes 5, 6 times? Oh, I kiss you. Oh, it don't look real enough. Do it again. Like, and I'm just thinking to myself, bro, if my shorty was acting, I don't know. So I feel like, can you just? You're the only actor on this couch right now, man. So I got to get your perspective on this, man. Because obviously it's a job, and you got to remove the emotions from it. But at the same time, it's just like, that's tough.
Nah, it's definitely tough, man. And it takes a very special person to understand, for sure, man. But like I like to tell people, man, it's part of the craft, man. Part of the craft for me personally, like. I don't get like hyped for those type of moments. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't be on the call sheet like if I gotta kiss somebody, it's like, yes, I get to kiss somebody, or I get to be in the bed with XYZ today. Like
right.
At the end of the day, bro, it's just part of the craft. You know what I'm saying? You don't even know this person. Y'all, it's a job. You clock in, you clock out like any other job.
Yeah.
But I definitely understand from the outside looking in. We're storytellers, so our job is to tell the story, and especially if it helps propel the show, the film, and it moves the plot in a compelling way. Yeah. It's necessary sometimes, right? But it's not easy. It's not easy if you're with someone who's the actor and has to portray and those kind of things, man. Every role doesn't come with that, but when it does, man, just you got to be locked in with the person wherever you went. You know what I'm saying?
How does that combo even go though? Like, you know what I mean? Like, don't watch. Just turn the TV out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've heard like actors say that like those type of scenes they're like real. It's not like what it seems. It's real,
not
like,
real,
professional.
man.
Like it's you got the directors telling you.
For one, it's not real, right? People, both parties are covered.
But at the end of the day, dang, like
that's the point of filmmaking. It's a beautiful art, man. It's supposed to look believable, right?
Right.
So to your point, there's intimacy coordinators for the most part telling you what to do. And from my experiences, it was like, okay, this is how we're doing it. It's not like, yo, freestyle, go ahead. You know what I'm saying? It's not that. And I think that's what people think. At least from my experience, it hasn't been that. But from my experience, it's been super professional, rehearsals, things of that nature. And it's not typically, okay, let's go again. It's not one of those things.
Right, one take.
At least it hasn't been for me.
Yeah.
I only can speak from my experience, right? So there's a plethora of actors out there who may have experienced otherwise. Right?
Yeah. Do you feel like you and that person will have to like talk beforehand to kind of like do some type of not chemistry? Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course.
Because like I feel like if you just cold kissing somebody, it's not gonna even look real. You know what I mean? So like, how do you even get in that process of like trying to like, all right, like we gonna kiss, but not even that. It might not even be that. But like, how does that go?
Yeah, you may. So again, we did have rehearsals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying, where we may have to kiss or talk about hand placements, things of that nature.
Right.
So during those rehearsals, and it's private, closed up rehearsals, just you, probably the intimacy coordinator,
right,
and the actor, whatever it may be. And that's your time to like kind of get all the like the butterflies out or whatever it may be, bro. But it's like it's an art, man. It's art, man. And it's for me, especially if you are in a relationship, it's really work, man.
Yeah.
I can understand it if you were single, man, and it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that happens, right? We heard stories of people being castmates and they ended up married and having kids, and I'm not gonna say act like that don't happen.
Yeah.
It happens, bro. But if you're a man of God and you have a woman, you're a lady, and you honor that relationship, you don't. Work is work.
Shout out to all the partners, man.
Yeah,
Shout out to all the partners, man. The men, that's you know what I mean.
All
Hold it
that,
down.
man.
The women.
Shout out to the queen. Shout out to my queen too. You know what I'm saying? My number one supporter. You dig?
Shout out to you, man. You know what I mean. But I think that's a perfect segue into today, man. Obviously, you're on the show right now with Caught Up, and I kind of want to talk about, your role, man, because it was funny, man. We had a little exchange on IG a couple weeks back when the show came out. My boy came on there. Wayne is a character, man. And Wayne is smooth, man. Wayne is real smooth operator. You know what I mean? So, talk to me about the show. Talk to me about the character and just what that show was like. Just trying to get into that role.
Yeah, man. Definitely the most compelling character that I have to play to date. Wayne. Of course, you got a man who's struggling between, a shorty that he met out in the club and a partner that he has a baby with, and not really feeling loved at home, and just wants that security of feeling wanted. And of course, I'm a football player and I have all the money in the world, bro, but something still feels empty within Wayne, right? And
it's real life, though.
It's real life, though. You know what I'm saying? And it's a show that a lot of people can relate to. I think specifically women can relate to, right? Because you have that woman who's gonna put up with Wayne, right? Even though she knows that he has a situation at home, bro, but he's holding things down and he makes you feel good and he got money, right? So getting into that character, I had to kind of do some groundwork, of just what that would look like for me, right? Of course, those days are far behind me, you know what I'm saying? So
Wholesome King.
Yeah, you dig, man. Wholesome King out here, man. So it was definitely it was fun to play with, man. It was fun to show the emotions.
What's that look like for you? Like getting kind of into that mode. Like if obviously that's not on your forefront right now by any means, but like to kind of tap into that. What's that look like? Because especially in the roles like that where it's kind of got some type of angle that's it like within most of us.
Yeah.
Do you like tap into that within yourself? Do you try to don't lose yourself too much into those roles? Like how does that process go for you?
So I surrender to the role, and I never judge the character. It's one thing that I was taught, in acting. So whether there's always something that I can relate to within the role, right? Or within, being in a relationship that, may have not went the way I wanted it to go, having to break tough news to someone. There's always ways to connect to the character. So for me, I always try to see what do I have in common, like with Wayne, right? Have I been in Wayne's position before? Have I been through a bad breakup before? You know what I'm saying? These things I have, you know what I'm saying? So I think with acting, man, you really bring your real life experiences to the role, man, and that's how you really connect to the character.
Yeah, I feel like people always be thinking about like the Heath Ledgers of the world, like playing the Joker and like Jim Carrey. You got to go all the way, like you know what I mean?
And that's a lot of those people, those great, amazing actors. They do a lot of method acting where they stay in that character all the time. You know what I'm saying? While they're on set or even when they're not, when they're at home. You know what I'm saying? I've never practiced that. But I look forward to one day.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's dangerous. That's a dangerous game to play.
You think so?
That's a
hey man,
game
we
to play.
artists.
You see what happens? Like you get lost in a role, and then it's like kind of hard to
snap
bring
out
yourself
of that joint.
Yeah.
I don't think that it would ever get to that point for me, bro.
Right.
Yeah, but I love the sport, man. You know what I'm saying? Acting is a sport for real. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just grateful for it, man. Like,
so even like to bring it like kind of back to sports too, and kind of intertwine it. Like going into games, we all have our own pregame routines. Everybody looks a little bit different. Mm-hmm. Do you have like a routine to A, get into a role, or B, kind of right when you're getting ready to shoot, kind of like start up and get kind of ready to?
For sure, man.
Showtime.
Yeah, man. I always start my day with prayer. You know what I'm saying? Just thanking the man above. Like to meditate, before I get to set, stretch, things of that nature. I go through my exercises, like my breathing techniques and tongue twisters and things of that nature to kind of loosen my verbiage and make sure I'm enunciating my words, things of that nature.
Can you share us one? Because we were
talking
about
we can't even do it here. Because it sounds kind of crazy, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you ask about Shorty, when if she's around, when I'm studying for an audition, she'll hear me say it. You know what I'm saying? But she don't be judging me though. But like it could be alarming. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of like just warms up your mouth. Pause. You know what I'm saying? Pause.
Right.
Pause. We paused it. So that's certain exercises I do, man.
Yeah. So I feel like, how does that look like? You mentioned studying for an audition, right? Like, are you like they're sending you like how far in advance are you getting the lines and stuff? How hard is it for you to memorize them? Is it like, because I feel like I always be thinking about that in my mind. Like if you think about a movie, right? I always think like, dang, like so are they memorizing the whole script of the movie at once? Is it like are they breaking it down? Like
Nah. So we break it down. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably go day by day and scene by scene. So typically you may get a scene for Wednesday that you're shooting maybe on Monday or Sunday, whatever it be. So they give you enough time. They know we're not robots. As far as auditions can be quick turnaround sometimes. So you have about like 2 or 3 days to get it in. Me, once I get an audition, if it's due on Monday, if I got an audition today's Friday, it'd be due maybe Monday. But I'm locking in today. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to get it done, by Sunday or whatever it may be. And yeah, man, the memorization piece is never has been too challenging for me. Just because I feel like we got to memorize in school. We pledged, things of that nature.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So
real memorization right there.
Yeah, no just learning your history of your organization, things of that nature. So the learning piece, the memorization piece never has been the biggest challenge. The stuff that's like where you get to be creative for things of nature is when you really dive deep into the character and really just trying to have a great performance. You know what I'm saying? A lot of actors we're hard on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Like we're all hard on ourselves, man. Even when Caught Up came out, it's like, ooh, like you know what I'm saying? But we're our own biggest critic. So
dang, so let me touch on that too. So when, a movie or show is done and finished and airing, and you watch it back, does it kind of like, watching film in basketball or anything like that? Do you?
Yeah, like what could I have done better? Maybe I could have did
out
this.
To you, or are they kind of like, does it ever kind of rest easy with you?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Nah, I get what you mean. It's very much so parallel to basketball, man. When you're like watching yourself on film, you're like, dang, I should have one more pass. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I should have hop stepped.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that with acting. But you learn to trust your choices, man. Maybe I would say the first time you watch it is like that. You're just overcritical of yourself.
Just criticizing everything.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And a lot of times, you don't even get to choose what take they choose, right? So say you in a scene, you might have liked the first take and they chose the third take. You know what I'm saying? But that's not your job, right? That's post production. You know what I'm saying? So everybody has a part to play, to make the magic happen. But definitely, I would say like the first time you watch it, you're probably overanalyzing a little bit, at least for me. But after that, you're like, man, you're proud of the work.
Bro, you got to have peace with it because, like,
it's there
basketball,
forever.
You're gonna have another game in a couple of days or something like that.
Yeah.
The movie's done, it's over with.
Yeah, it's over with. And the only difference between acting is like you don't know when your next game is.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know when the next booking is.
That's another question I want to ask you, too, because it's a volatile game, right? Like, it's not consistent. And maybe you haven't really had too much experience with that. I don't know. But it's kind of what's that struggle like for you of dealing with, trying to figure out when your next gig is going to be or show or video game? Like, what's that process like as
hard.
As an actor in L.A.?
It's hard, man. It's hard, man. We're in one of the toughest industries ever, man. Like,
I know that's right.
It's super competitive. It's like 1% kind of thing. But that's why you really got to be in love with the craft. You know what I'm saying? And really enjoy the craft, man. Because you know that you serve something so long. You believe in God, like what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? In Jesus' name, right? So for me, it's like I started acting the tail end of 2018, 2019, and since then, the pandemic happened. There was a writer strike. There was an actor strike. And like since the strike has been lifted, things are still in like a weird kind of area. It's not super.
Get back to normal.
Yeah, it's still trying to gain a gauge of normalcy still. So just staying faithful, man, and just staying down, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a marathon, right? But there's definitely it's tough because it's not as consistent in the beginning. You know what I'm saying? It's not as consistent. There's other things, there's other hustles. I always keep it. I got jobs now. You know what I'm saying? I got side hustles, things of that nature, bro. I'm not out here just waiting for it to happen for me, bro. I'm doing what I need to do. I'm staying in class. I'm reading. I'm working. You know what I'm saying? Keeping the bills paid as much as possible, especially in LA. Right. You know what I'm saying? So
LA bills are different.
Yeah, man. It's a journey, man. One of the most savagest, if that's even the word, things to do is to pursue a career in the arts, man. Whether they be a musician, a painter, comedian, an actor. Yeah, man. It's not because you just never know. You have to be okay with being in the gray area.
Yeah. Right.
The gray, like you have to thrive in the gray area. And I think that since I played basketball, since I pledged, since I, have faced adversity in my life before, that it works for me. It works for me.
That's a bar. That's a bar.
That's taking all the skills from everything and being able to be reactive.
Gotta have tough skin, man.
Right.
Gotta have tough skin, man. When you have a bad game or when you don't know when you're gonna play, whatever it is, you gotta keep showing up to practice. Still gotta come up 20 minutes before and stretch. You know what I'm saying? Still gotta stay consistent, right? And that's how I look at it. I really feel like sports and acting is very parallel.
Right. Yeah. We can relate to that being as overseas athletes. You know, you finish one season and if you haven't already signed for the next year, you're not sure what's coming next. You know, you're kind of on the.
You might not know until a week before the season start.
Yeah, well, that could be your last job ever. Yeah, that could be your last one. You might not get enough. You feel me? Like
you never know. You never know when the next gig. You never know when your next booking is, bro. Same thing.
So I want to ask you, man. Like, what would you say is your dream role? Like, if you could, play any character, like, or if maybe, I'll say this: give me your dream role, like character you could play, and then also like. Who are some actors that like you would love to work with? Like you had to make a dream cast. Like what would that look like for you?
Dream role, man. I feel like it's kind of cliche, but I want to be a superhero, man.
That'd be tough.
I just feel like I could see myself.
Everybody want to be a superhero.
Yeah, man. I feel like I could just see myself in the in the wardrobe, doing cool stuff, doing my own stunts, things of that nature.
Yeah.
Want to do that, or either that, or kind of like a James Bond kind of movie where like I'm wearing the suit.
I can see it.
And seeing like kind of like a ghost kind of edge, kind of vibe. I think those two are my top dream roles.
Okay.
As far as the cast, that's tough, man. That's tough, man. I love the GOATs, man. So they said Zell almost might retire or whatever he said. I think he kind of clarified it, but I would love to work with Zell. He's like one of my favorite actors from my early adolescence of just watching movies. I love Auntie Angela Bassett. You know what I'm saying? She another legend. I love DiCaprio, another legend. I love Don Cheadle. I'm actually a big fan of Don Cheadle's work. So I'm not sure who I would have casted, but these are some people that like I admire and I study. And I'd love to work with them, one day. Sure.
Hell yeah. I feel like growing up, man, like you have some of those like iconic movies, man. Whether it be, I feel like as a hooper, like. And I won't say all the movies because we got a little game we're going to play later. You know what I mean?
Okay, word.
But for you, like when you were, I guess, looking back at it now, like as an actor, do you watch movies differently? You know what I mean? Because I feel like as a kid, you kind of watch them like, all right, man, like, dang, that was crazy. But now, do you watch movies from like, all right, you kind of got to study different people?
Absolutely.
How are you absorbing these films now?
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Just like when you watching basketball, you kind of like watching it from, I'm keep hitting myself on this, my phone. Just like when you watch basketball, right? You kind of watching from like, damn, what moves can I take, right?
Right.
How can I like how Ant, his north to south game is tough or whatever it may be, right? Yeah, so it's the same thing with acting. Like since I became an actor and wanted to pursue a career in this industry, I've watched and looked at film differently. You know what I'm saying? I study actors. I study what choices they make, why they made that choice, facial expressions, the beats, the moments that they make, that they take, the breaths. I can't watch it the same no more. I can't watch it like just from a consumer level no more. I'm watching it to study and to take some things and to better myself.
Now you did mention all these, like a dream cast just now before, but is there like a specific actor you look to kind of to study the most?
That I look to study the most right now?
Yeah, like when you're watching any movies or shows or just kind of something that you want to emulate maybe.
Yeah. I loved Chadwick Boseman. I was a big fan. Rest in peace, Chadwick Boseman. I was a huge fan of his work. I still watch his films. Of course, Zell. I'm a fan of the younger actors too that are making their way and setting the tone and putting their foot in the industry. I love Daniel Kaluuya's work. I think he's an amazing actor. I'm also right now watching The Penguin.
Okay.
My brother been telling me to watch it.
It's a good show.
Yeah. So I just watched. I just finished episode 1, and my brother was like, my brother loves the show. He's like, man, they gonna be teaching this show in schools, and what I'm saying, gonna have a master class on this show, and he's not lying. Episode 1, it was amazing, man, and I love the acting in it. So
I'm on like episode 6 or something like that. That's a good show. It just gets better too.
It gets better.
It just gets better.
I'm actually about to binge watch it this weekend, like the whole thing. Yeah.
Let me know what you think. Cause
I got you. I'll meet you up.
I'm gonna have to finish it. You gotta tap in too.
Yeah, I'm putting on the list this weekend, man. I'm about to go home for Thanksgiving. You know what I mean? Be around the fam. So
big DC or big Merlin.
Yes, sir. Merlin or whatever.
Not Maryland. Merlin.
Merlin. Feel me? So I want to ask you, man, because we had a talk at the surgeon a while back just about like this whole idea of kind of going from a hooper, man, and then getting into that next phase of your life. You know what I mean? And how it's hard, man, to kind of transition or even come to terms with it, yourself. And, all right, man, this hooping chapter is closed, and I'm gonna move on to something else. So I want to talk to you about, I guess hindsight is always 20/20. You know what I mean? But like, do you ever look back and be like, damn, man, I wish I would have stuck with hoops for longer? Or like when you were done at Morehouse, did you ever think like, damn, let me try to pursue a pro career? Or were you always kind of right into acting, right? Because I feel like there's no greater battle than the battle that's going on in your mind.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I feel like you got to try to be able to, number one, live with your decisions that you make.
Absolutely.
And then number two, when you're kind of in the moment, you got to really look inward because can't nobody make any choice for you. You know what I mean? So when it's like, all right, damn, do I want to go pro? Do I want to pursue acting? It's like you can't be worried about what your friends going to say or like, hey, man, what the perception is going to be.
Man, I dealt with all of that.
Yeah.
I dealt with all of those internal warfare, you know what I'm saying? Because there's people like you that you've known me as a basketball player right before I started acting, right? And I know, like, for some people, like, it was just like, damn, I kind of picked it up out of nowhere. A lot of people didn't know I was a film major at all because I was all basketball. Everything you see on my profile was basketball. So the transition wasn't the easiest, man. So really what happened was my senior year, I actually tore my groin in the beginning of the season, and it sat me out for the rest of the season. Jeez. And, like, that had been, like, probably, like, my third or fourth injury within my career, shit that you can't control.
Yeah. So you missed that whole season?
I did. It was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad, bro. And, I'm a spiritual person. I believe in God, and I took that as a sign, like, yo, maybe I should tap in with something else. Maybe this is a sign God is telling me to, like, go full-fledged with acting. That's how I looked at it. You know what I'm saying? Before that happened, I was going into the season healthy, of course, and I had aspirations of maybe playing overseas. I wasn't sold on it, though.
Yeah, you weren't sold on it.
I wasn't, though, because I really started to fall in love with acting.
Okay, so this is already kind of...
Yeah, so, like, now that I got injured, I'm like, okay, yeah. You know what I'm saying?
It's meant to be almost. Right?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't really sold with the idea of, like, going overseas. And I remember my coach at the time, he was telling me about, like, some overseas interests. I forget where. That some coaches was reaching out to him, things of that nature, but weren't really crazy contracts or really, like, where I'll be making any kind of bread. And I wasn't really one of them ball players that just wanted to go overseas just to say that I went overseas. Everybody knows somebody like that. You know what I'm saying? I played overseas, but all right, bro, what you?
Where were
you at? What you playing? How much was you making? Word. You know what I'm saying? So
you went 7th Division, Spain. What are you doing?
Yeah.
Nah, for real.
Facts, bro. So that's kind of how that came about for me, man. And after that injury, man, during that time I was rehabbing and coming to practice and coming to the games, but I was also in acting class. You know what I'm saying? I was also studying. I was also, like, trying to find an agent. So I was kind of like one foot in, one foot out, man, until I was like, man, I really love this craft of acting. I want to pursue it. Yeah. And I even stayed in Atlanta after graduation for a few years to pursue acting. And, of course, long story short, that has brought me out here to L.A.
Yeah. What do you feel like has been, because none of us are from here. It's crazy. We all do this podcast in Beverly Hills.
East Coast, man.
Yeah, man. And I feel like adjusting to LA is different. And I'll give my own perspective. I'll obviously want to hear your thoughts as well. And you too, Isaiah. But I feel like, especially as a creative, you know what I mean? I feel like everybody out here, I talked to Ron about this, man. We and Ron was talking at church one day. Shout out Ron. Shout out Ron. When you meet somebody for the first time in LA, like, oh yeah, what's up, bro? My name Andrew. Yeah. My name Duby. What you do, bro? Oh, I'm a model, or I'm an actor, or I'm whatever. You know what I mean? Everybody's gonna say whatever it is that they allegedly doing, right? Allegedly. Mm-hmm. And then he was talking about how, like, you get, I do this. Okay, yeah, how long you been doing that? And then eventually you'll get to, like, oh, what you really do? Oh, I work in tech, or I got, like, whatever. You know what I mean? And I feel like there's this perception when you come out here that everybody has to be. You gotta be doing something. You gotta have some type of motion doing something, whether you an actor or you a model or you a basketball. Everybody kind of trying to keep up with the Joneses. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I work in ed tech on the side.
Yeah. Facts. So I want to know your experience. Just like, I feel like moving out here to LA, right? And now it's like, all right, man, I'm in LA. I'm an actor, right? There's a perception that comes with that also. You know what I mean? Like, and just how are you kind of maintaining that, staying true to yourself, remaining authentic, man? Because I feel like it's real easy to get caught up in the lifestyle out here, man. You know what I mean?
It is, man. I think that I'm a person who practices discernment, and I know that like LA is the common ground for like just the entertainment hub, right? So everybody's out here trying to pursue something
Yeah.
and grind to get somewhere, man. So sometimes that it's hard to foster like real relationships through that because I always feel like sometimes it's like kind of what can you do for me, right? Or what can I do
Right.
for you kind of
Right.
situation, man. So really I just use my discernment, man. And I don't would say I don't have like a big community out here just yet. I'm very selective with who I pour my energy and my time into and
Yeah.
who I'm around, bro.
Sure.
Just because like you said, you can get lost in it. If
Yeah.
you're always around it, you're always around the actors and entertainers and all these things. You know what I'm saying? I have friends who are not in the entertainment, right?
Yeah.
My girl now, she's not in entertainment, and I love that for me.
Yeah.
Just personally, right?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it's amazing, like for the people who date actresses or who are both in careers because they understand each other. But for
Right.
me, I really appreciate duality and having that balance and just
Balance, right.
yeah, and just like learning. She teaches me things that like I don't know of, right? And I teach her things about my industry and things of that nature, bro. So I love that. But I had to say that fostering relationships here it can be tricky, like to kind of weave out who's really genuine and who's really trying to help you and things of that nature.
Yeah.
But overall, man, I'm enjoying my time in LA. I think people put a lot of pressure on LA for things like that, bro. But it's
Yeah.
like it's LA, like this is Hollywood, man. This is where dreams are made and where
Facts.
people come to pursue their heartfelt dream that they had since they was kids, right? So it comes with the territory.
Yeah.
It comes with the territory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to somebody that's trying to navigate that space, right? Like somebody who maybe is coming out here and they're trying to get into the industry, whether it's acting or modeling, something in the creative landscape, and like, what advice would you give somebody to how to not get caught up, in keeping up with the Joneses? Because
Yeah, man.
trying to keep up with the Joneses is gonna get you in deep
but
trouble
you
out
you
here.
get burnt out, man. You get burnt out. I think that you need to have a solid foundation with God and pray.
Straight up.
I feel like I don't know if a lot of people pray out, like pray here, bro.
Man.
I don't know. I mean, y'all tell me I could be wrong.
So-
I don't-
Go ahead.
No, you go first.
No, so I was gonna say though, I think that kind of touch on everything really.
Yeah.
It's easy to get lost in the sauce of LA for real, right? And there's definitely a lot of people that are trying to put on the front and pose
Lifestyle.
like they're living a certain lifestyle, or
Yeah.
even if they are, it's not even just about that they are. They're trying to show that they are. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
And it's a lot of that. And I think amongst all that though, it's definitely a lot of people like us that are trying to, not trying to, that are genuine and trying
Absolutely.
to find other people that's
Like-minded
that's in the same-
individuals.
Right.
Yeah.
So I think within that, it's definitely a sub community
For sure.
that I think we've kind of both found
Your
pretty
community.
well.
Yeah. Not for sure.
Yeah. Andrew would tell you about his church that he.
Yeah, I was
love
about to
it.
say.
I
I
love
was
it.
about to get
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it, man.
Every Sunday.
Yeah, cause I'm a little newer out here to LA, so I've kind of been coming back and forth. Obviously, when I was
remember
hooping,
you told me that. Yeah.
But I just kind of really settled out here around like August, and since I came out here, man, like I've been going to Zoe Church. It's in downtown LA. Actually, just got a new location, Highland Park and West Side.
Right, go
Shout
ahead.
out right on La
Go
Brea
ahead,
in the
plug.
10. All right, we got a 9 a.m., a 10:30,
Yeah.
12:15.
Yeah.
All right, Highland Park. Then we
Fire.
got a 5:30
Yeah.
and a
Love
7.
it. Yeah.
West LA. All right, so you don't got no excuses. We got 5 services every Sunday. All right.
God is the greatest.
But I think being rooted in that and like really like finding a church home, a church community has been huge for me.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? And I think I was talking. I know you know Jamad as well. I met Jamad,
For real?
at the art gallery last week or last
That's
month before we
crazy.
went to Mexico City.
That's my brother.
Yeah, he's telling me
Okay.
about Oasis and a lot of folks
okay.
obviously go there too, man. So if you in LA, man, you need a church home, man. You got Zoe, you got Oasis, you got One. I think that's really you got to be rooted in that. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Because
absolutely.
I found a lot of people who, they're quick to pull out the little. I don't even want. They do some crazy stuff out here.
That's why I led with that.
Yes,
What was
they
that?
do. They do crazy
What do they
stuff
do?
out here.
It's
like,
just it get really interesting.
yeah, they pull
What?
out type
Yeah.
of boards. They
it get
They're
interesting,
doing
man.
the Ouija boards? What
yes,
are you saying?
all type of stuff like spiritual.
Yeah, it get really interesting here, man. So
Yeah.
that's why I started with and led with just.
I already knew what you was getting at.
Yeah, finding a community and being deeply rooted in God.
Yeah.
Always tell people that your experience. For me, I feel like your experience in LA. 'Cause you come in, people are like, man, LA it's this, it's that. People are not right. It's a shitty
Yeah.
place. And then you hear people like who are actually from LA. They're like, man, this where I was born and raised,
Yeah.
right? You know what I'm saying? So I think like it's contingent upon your community and who you spend your time with and who you
To
befriend.
that point, I feel like it is a lot of the times because like I said, I was here as I was in middle school here.
Okay.
So I know a lot of people that are from here.
Mm-hmm.
So
Exactly.
usually it's a lot of times the people that are from here that kind of just the most regular. Not into all these.
It'd be the transplants that be wilding.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah.
Fact though, because they have an idea of what LA is,
And
they
what
like
LA's supposed to be, so they
Right.
come here on a certain notion.
Right.
Like, this is how I need to move. But
Exactly.
really, it's not that.
I mean, I think it's that. Also, I think it's that a lot of transplants come with a dream and come with, they're trying to chase something, but they don't have the values to counterbalance it, like we're talking about
That's
right
real.
now.
That's
so
real.
they just willing to do anything and everything to step on whoever to try to get to, what they're trying to get to.
Yeah.
That's a bar.
And then,
That is about like no real morality kind of thing.
So then next thing you know, they're the ones that's, just who are you? What can you do for me? Oh, nothing. All right, cool.
All right,
yeah,
cool.
Next.
Next person. Then
Right.
you're not until you on though. Then it's like, then remember from X, Y, and Z when I met you?
Exactly. So that's why kind of bringing it all back to God and morals and values.
Absolutely.
That's kind of where the whole even ground is and keeping yourself grounded. But all that's definitely here. I think that's
It's here.
That's
It's here. You just gotta find
facts.
your community and find your village, man.
Exactly.
Yeah.
100%.
Everyone told me that when I first moved there. I've been out here 2 years, by the way. So when I first came out here, people, man, it takes some years to find your village, man. But once you find that village, smooth sailing.
Yeah.
Everybody told me that. You know what I'm
Facts.
saying? I'm starting to believe it.
Tough. So I want to kind of ask you one more kind of serious question before we have a little bit of fun, man. You know what I mean? Because I know we could sit up here and chat all day, man. But for you, man, obviously, you've done a lot of incredible things, in your acting career already.
Thank you, bro.
But as people who are driven and competitors, man, I know for sure just by seeing you work, man, you have an incredible career ahead of you in acting, man. And
Thank you, bro.
I want to know for you, man, like, God is good, so we're gonna speak into existence. But 10 years from now, what does that look like for you, man? What does success look like in acting? What do you envision, like, a life, for yourself? You know what I mean? As an actor in this industry.
10 years from now, man, I want to be able to be in a position to give back to people, like just like outside of acting, right? Just I want acting to be the groundwork to help get me to where I want to be. And like the real goal is to be able to give back to the community, give back to inner city kids, give back to people who may have not grown up with their father or whoever may be in our community, and also to help creatives, help ex-athletes who are going into the creative space like ourselves. You know what I'm saying? I love this podcast that you guys are doing, man. I'm so happy to be here. So that's where I see myself. That's like my ultimate biggest goal in life, right? Is to give back.
Yeah.
Specifically as an actor. Man, I pray that I have some great work that I'm able to, leave a good impression on people's lives, right? Like we all watched a movie or a film or a show where like a character really like had an effect on your life and help you become who you are, kind of thing. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
And I want to play roles like that. I want to play life-changing, compelling roles that people really resonate with.
Yeah.
Because man. There's just the world of filmography and acting, man. We really tell stories that resonate with people, and I just want to be part of that.
That's the beauty of being an actor, for real. You get to really touch a lot of people's souls by telling those stories.
Absolutely.
And playing those roles.
Absolutely, man.
It gets overlooked by, but I'm gonna sit down and entertain myself. Watch some TV.
But you really be connected.
Watch a movie.
Yeah.
But you get to really, really impact a lot of people.
Yeah. Absolutely. And so that's where I see myself, just impacting lives through my work and just through service.
Yeah. Do you have that one movie though that for you, like when you were young, that really impacted your life?
Same question.
Man,
you gotta go next. Go around with it.
The Pursuit of Happiness. Will Smith, man.
That's a good one.
That was one of them ones that was like, bro. It just, I don't know, it just kind of transformed my life, man. Just the story of the character.
It's an emotional movie.
Yeah, for sure, man. It was just inspired me.
Great movie.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites. Shout out to Will Smith, man.
Shout out.
Yeah.
Mine's a little bit off script a little bit, but I feel like when I say it, people are gonna be surprised. But like for me, the movie that did it for me was Akilah and the Bee.
Okay.
Akilah and the Bee, bro. Keke Palmer.
Keke Palmer.
Keke Palmer, man. That when she was young, Keke Palmer, man. That was like her first like real major film. I think. You know what I mean? Like
it's a classic.
And for me, it was like first of all, the Scripps National Spelling Bee is in DC. So So for me, growing up as a kid in the DMV area, it was like, dang, like this young black girl from California, like really went up and won the Scripps National Spelling Bee. You know what I mean? Like, and growing up, it was like, I didn't have much. I was, struggling. You know what I mean? Inner city, and like, I resonated with Keke because that was like my story. You know what I mean? And like, I was always somebody who cared about grades and education in school. Even when I was younger, bro, I was like. It was weird because like you grow up like you in the hood, lower income neighborhoods, but like I cared about my books and my, you know what I mean. So it was I see myself in her, you know what I mean, and just seeing her go up there and compete against people from all across the country, and she ain't had no books, no resources, and she got there, tapping her leg. It was just like I saw myself in her, even though she was a little girl. It was like I saw as a young black kid in her city. You can be as smart as the next person in the room. You know what I mean? So, Akilah and the Bee for sure was that movie.
That's right, man. I love that film. I remember watching that as a youngin', man. For real, that's one of the ones.
For sure.
Great movie. Dang, y'all looking at me. I asked the question. I just blanked. I can't think of nothing. Hold on, because
it was a. You remember the question?
No, I can't think of.
Oh, okay,
I can't think of like that movie that like, from when I was young at least, that was like the most impactful. I'm gonna come back to you. I'm gonna interrupt everything and when I think of it.
Say no more. So I want to get into this draft, man. All right. So for the folks, man, we like to have a little fun. We're gonna do a little draft. So it'll be remiss. We got 3 athletes on here.
Okay.
All right. So how it's gonna work? We're gonna go top 5. All right. We each get 1 pick. It's gonna be 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2. All right. Top 5 sports movies ever. All right, sports movies. So we can go basketball, football, baseball, any sports movie. All right. And we're gonna do our top 5. We're gonna do our top 5. All right. So. Duby, you the guest, so you get the luxury of having the first pick with your movie. You know what I mean?
Top
and then
5.
we'll go like this, and I'll go last.
Do it clockwise.
Yep.
Okay. And speaking of Zell, remember the Titans.
Great pick. Great pick.
Yeah.
Great pick. I feel like I'm gonna go to the obvious one early. Coach Carter.
Damn. Great one.
So I sent this in a group chat recently. I forgot the actor's name, but the dude who played Coach Carter's son, light-skinned dude, he did a podcast and was talking about like the pool scene.
Yeah, I seen
You seen the joint?
I remember the pool scene.
Yo,
that was funny.
So he talked about how like the pool scene, like that was like when they were shooting, they weren't supposed to go in the pool. Like it was supposed to be like outside the house party, whatever, and like. They just hit a side quest, like, and jumped in the pool, like, with the girls, like, kissing with the girls. Like, it was crazy. That was, like, real. Like, so he said when Coach Carter came in and was like, I forgot his name, Dame Evers or everything, get out that pool. That was, like, real anger and, like, real emotion because he wasn't never supposed to be in there. Yeah.
The camera's rolling for real, and that was
it.
And it came out crazy. You know what I mean? So it was just crazy to get that perspective.
Damn. That's crazy.
Nuts, bro. I'm going to send you a clip so you can watch it.
Yeah, nah,
please. They said they weren't supposed to be in the master bedroom upstairs either.
Oh.
Yeah.
And the same thing. He up there, like, in the window, like, making out with the girl. And
they weren't supposed to be in there.
Man.
So my number 1, I feel like I can go a lot of different directions here.
Really can.
I'm gonna go. He got game, man. He got game.
Zell.
He got game. Facts. You know what I mean?
That was on my thing. I was about to say that next, bro. That's crazy.
Number one, man. Shout out G. Shuttlesworth, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah. My second. Does Above the Rim count as a sports movie?
Yeah.
Basketball? Okay,
sure,
right. It does.
yeah,
It's
for sure,
basketball,
for sure.
yeah. So, I would say Above the Rim. Yeah.
All right. That's good. That's a good pick. I'll probably go with the most watched movie for myself. I probably watched it hundreds and hundreds of times. For somebody who don't really even rewatch movies, Space Jam.
Oh, okay. Classic.
Classic. For sure, had the the Space Jam, the Looney Tunes jersey when I was little. We used to rock that probably about 4 times a week.
4 times a week? Oh, you was spamming that joint?
No. It was torn. I wore it till it was about one of them like all the
Fair
time.
enough.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, my number 2. That's a great pick. That really should have been my number 1, to be honest with you. Everybody knows I love Space Jam. My number 2, though, as corny as it is, I'm going Love and Basketball, man. Love and Basketball, man. That's a classic right there. You feel me?
Dang.
Everybody was in high school.
That could be number 1 for
Facts.
real. Yeah.
Everybody was in high school trying to be Quincy and Monica. You know what I mean? Everybody.
Bro.
So
for real.
Yeah.
that's my number 2.
Shout out Omar Epps. I actually really loved the Glory Road when it came out.
Ooh, great
Glory Road.
movie. Texas Western.
Yeah, you know. Yeah.
That's an elite
Glory Road.
movie.
I rewatched that. Like I ran that
That's
one
a
to the
powerful
ground.
movie.
Powerful.
Powerful
Yeah, that was
movie.
one of the ones.
Okay, all right. Well, that's 2 picks, right? So you come number
It's
3.
number 3. Yep.
All right. I'm gonna go. I feel like I need to switch it up from basketball. Yeah.
Oh, we saying all basketball.
I mean,
Some hoopers
what
for
you
real,
expect?
right? Some hoopers for real.
I think I'm gonna go. What's it called? Angels in the Outfield. I don't know if y'all seen Angels in the Outfield.
I have. That's a deep
A
cut.
classic movie. Yeah.
Is that a Disney movie? That Disney movie, right?
It might be.
I
don't
think
know. I'm
so.
not gonna lie to
It's
you.
a classic.
I don't think I seen Angels in Outfield.
Hey man,
On
you
Wilder?
have to watch it. Study
Nah,
it.
I mean it's a good movie though.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
We'll check it out.
Yeah, a classic movie.
Baseball
classic
movie.
baseball movie.
Baseball movie. Okay.
Baseball movie. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Dope.
Number 3. I'm going like Mike. I'm sticking with the basketball wave. I don't care.
Yeah,
Shameless.
yeah,
Damn,
yeah,
like
yeah,
Mike.
yeah.
Like Mike.
Yeah, nah, that was one of
Calvin
Man.
Cambridge.
I used to.
That's probably that first one though, for sure. Calvin Cambridge.
yeah.
Because I know
First
y'all
one.
seen even the other ones. There was one with KD. I think it was two.
There was?
Yeah.
I never
It was
seen
like
that.
2 and 3.
I never seen that.
I ain't
KD,
see, I ain't
like
even
Mike.
See, yeah, I didn't even see the remake.
Right.
Nah, they were bad movies.
Some
yeah,
movies
yeah.
don't need a remake, and that's one of them.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
I can
They be
agree.
trying to, hold on too long. Nah.
Yeah. So you was one of them kids that was like, you put on some sneakers, you thought it was gonna give you superpowers.
Facts.
Yeah.
Make me like Mike.
Make me like Mike. Growing up, yeah.
Throw him on the joint.
Yo, throw it right the
1000%.
initials in the tongue.
Man.
Just like that.
Bro.
No cap.
Especially when you couldn't dunk yet, you was like, man, I'm trying.
Hey, I really thought, looks up. That's when cornrows was popping. I'm like, man, I need to get some cornrows, get me a little
Right,
headband,
right.
cap, bro.
That
I was
dope.
real Calvin Cambridge.
Yeah,
Facts.
that 5XT.
That was Morris Chestnut in there, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Damn, legend for sure.
Good pick.
4th pick. Go Friday Night Lights, Booby Miles.
Nice.
Friday Night Lights.
Nice.
Yeah.
These are all good picks, I feel like.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Classics. A lot of options.
I'm trying to stay like off the beaten path for real though. Let me think. All right, you know what? Sidebar. I got a sidebar for y'all. Since you mentioned like Mike, got me thinking about this. I don't know if y'all ever had this book called Salt in Your Shoes. When y'all were little, it was like about Michael Jordan. He used to put salt in his shoes, make him like grow taller a little
I
bit.
feel like that sounds familiar.
Sound familiar?
Yeah.
It got me thinking about that. I used to read that. I used to have that book, read it all the time. When I go to sleep, I tell my mom put salt in my shoes so I could be taller.
Wow.
She used to do that. And
It
I
worked?
get to school. I know. No, look though, because look, I don't know if she like told the teacher something, but she would do it, and I would go into school the next day, and my teacher would be like, "Dang, you get taller? You get taller over
Wow.
the weekend?"
So you was like, you was in the crib like,
"Hey, right, every day."
double up. Yeah.
I was like, "Yeah, it's working." I just had to throw that out there.
What's your 4th pick?
All right, yeah. Let's do. I'm gonna switch it all the way up too. I think Bagger Vance. Y'all, no. Forget that. What's it called? Happy Gilmore. Happy Gilmore golf movie with
Seen it a long time
I've never
ago.
seen that, but I heard of the
Yeah,
movie.
that's
So
a
a
long
lot of
time
folks
ago.
list. I never watched it
Yeah.
though.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I'm gonna finally switch it up from the basketball, but I'm taking it to football, man. I'm going Gridiron Gang.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Iron Gang, okay. Yeah, I
was gonna say
remember,
that
I
too,
remember
forgot
watching
it.
that.
Yeah,
I remember
that was
watching
good.
that.
That was good.
Yeah. Last pick.
Man, I'm kind of blanking. I done took my picks, man.
We're not getting good picks too. Ooh, got it. All right, I got it.
One more.
I'm still trying to think of like other sports too, other sport movies.
Man, I'm blanking on my 5th one, but I really loved this film. It's a newer film, and one of the GOATs, King Richard, was fire.
Ooh,
That was a very good movie.
King Richard
that's
was
a
fire.
great movie.
Very good
Yeah,
movie.
shout out to Will Smith, man.
Facts.
That was his performance. He put on the clinic.
He sure did.
You know, put on the acting clinic on that one. So, That's because I'm blanking though. But really, I think it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down as one of the greatest.
No, for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
That's a good pick. That's a good pick and a great movie for real.
Absolutely.
That got me thinking though too because, all right. It's a boxing movie. It's a boxing movie with Southpaw. I don't know if y'all seen Southpaw. That's one of my favorite movies. And I would have picked it early if I was thinking about it. I recommend y'all both watch it.
Okay.
Watch the movie, bro. You might cry. You might shed a tear.
Nah, I need it.
Yeah.
That's all I need. Southpaw?
Southpaw.
Southpaw.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Paul.
Dang,
like
I didn't even
dog.
think about boxing, man. They got Hurricane. You got
Creed.
Yeah, I didn't even
too.
think about none of that. Damn.
Right?
A lot
Switch
of
it up.
movies. Rocky.
Switch it up.
Rocky. Dang.
Yeah, a lot of them.
Dang.
You got your last pick. Go ahead. We're giving you options now.
Right. We giving him the answer.
Answer to the test.
I'm gonna go Rocky, man. But if I was actually also gonna throw in The Longest Yard.
That's what I was going to say. You
okay,
said
that's a
Gridiron
good
Gang?
one.
Yeah, The Longest Yard.
Longest
I was
Yard,
gonna
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
So
I don't think I don't think I ever actually seen Rocky.
for real, legendary movie, man. Shout out Sylvester Stallone, Tacoma Park Middle School alum like myself. You know
Is
what I
he
mean?
really?
Facts.
Okay.
Sylvester Stallone, Steve Francis. You know what I mean? All Tacoma Park
Francis.
legends, man. You know what I mean? Shout out Tacoma
Okay.
Park, Maryland, man. You feel me?
So y'all think the DMV area got the best hoopers?
Facts.
I mean,
Facts. You
was
feel me?
gonna
I mean,
think-
KD,
I
Quinn
already knew y'all was
Cook,
gonna think
Jeremy
that.
Grant, Victor Oladipo, Markel Fultz.
Hold on. I know you're not insinuating.
Nah, I mean y'all got
Boston.
it. Nah, I'm not. I'm not. We got some, but nah,
Yeah,
not
we have some,
not DMV. Really, LA got a lot of people.
But I hate that. But
LA,
LA is like people be trying to claim LA, like LA County, the whole. Like you know how small like the DMV areas compared to LA. They be trying to claim like Kauai. They be trying to claim PG.
Kauai. They
Like
like
PG
in
is from Fresno.
the
Like
Bay
P-
or whatever,
yeah,
far
like wait,
out. Yeah,
yeah,
far
like
out,
PG
yeah.
not.
If we claiming all Virginia too, we're at that rate. We claiming Virginia. If they claiming like IE,
Yeah.
claiming IE, we
And then it's
claim
like, all right,
Virginia.
are we claiming Baltimore? Because then we got Melo, we got
Right.
Rudy
Yeah.
Gay. You know what I
Rudy
mean?
Gay's gonna be
It's
more,
a
yeah.
lot of people that we could claim if we gonna go like the Maryland and Virginia. You feel me? So
AI.
AI, yeah. So it's just
Damn,
like
AI, damn.
that's
Yeah.
Richmond. You getting
Yeah.
then you know what I mean?
Y'all got
So
a
it
lot
get
of
tricky.
hoopers. Now y'all got it, man. I ain't even going. You know what I'm saying? Like can't even lie, bro. Can't even lie.
Yeah.
Gotta
Smart
respect
man,
it.
Smart man. Smart man.
Gotta respect it, man. So before we get out of here, man, last thing we're gonna ask, man, is a little what's in your bag. Obviously, as of this recording, when this comes out, it'll be a little bit later, man. But Thanksgiving on the way, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Everybody getting ready to get around their family, you feel me? So
For sure.
what's in your bag, man? If you come on Thanksgiving, what are you bringing to the table? You know what I mean?
I don't know if you already had. We just had a little Friendsgiving the other day.
Oh,
I
word?
don't know if, or we attended one, a
Okay.
couple. But I don't know if you already have or
man,
what.
y'all
If
ain't
you've been
got a
cooking, if you've been in the kitchen.
Friendsgiving?
If you got to bring one thing, what you doing?
I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even a big cook, man. But
That's
You
store-bought.
could bring a dessert. You could,
Store-bought.
Yeah.
You could bring a
So-
beverage.
I love cornbread.
Okay.
Yeah, cornbread is like one of my favorite sides.
You know how to make jollof? Can you make that?
I can't, bro.
You gotta
Oh,
get the
Lord.
recipe,
Can't.
gang. You
Need
need
it.
I
that.
can't.
We
My-
need it.
You need that.
The queen know how to though. You know what I'm
Ooh,
saying? So I'll be
support it.
she be spoiling me, but I do need to learn. You know what I'm
There's
saying?
nothing else.
It's
Facts.
right, just that. Have y'all had it before?
Yes.
For sure.
Okay.
I'm always take part in the debate. You know what I mean? The who jollof is better,
A lot-
Nigerian or
a lot of
Ghanaian.
Nigerians in the DMV, man.
It's a lot.
That's what I'm biased to Nigerian jollof because that's you know what I
I
mean.
only
All
had
your
Nigerian
friends,
Facts.
yeah.
jollof, that's it.
Yeah, so like there's really no other jollof to really consider. like to consider, but shout out Ghanaians as well. But yeah,
I gotta try it. I gotta see what the Ghanaian one is like. I never
For real?
had it.
there's a Ghanaian spot out here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I lied. I have. I know a place too that they sell it like out their house.
Or
It's good. It's good.
yeah, if y'all want some Niger jollof, man, I can point you in the right direction though. You know what I'm saying?
Niger know they carry last.
No, they carry last.
They carry
bro.
last.
No, they carry last. See this guy. See this guy.
Yeah, like about us.
I love
find
it,
out.
bro. I love
Find
it.
out.
I love it. I love it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait, hold. So what you bringing though? What you bringing?
All right, I'm gonna say what I cooked the other day. I made my mom's recipe, but she really got it from her aunt, my great aunt. I
Right.
made these green beans.
Fire.
And they were elite. I felt like I really did them justice. I really stuck my whole foot in them.
That's healthy.
They're not healthy. No.
Okay, word. So you like dog them
Nice.
out with like,
Hella butter and
okay.
some secret ingredients, but it's healthy. I wouldn't really say now, but it was You know, I guess
That's jokes. How you turn green beans into
Right, at least he.
I mean, healthier than like some dessert, I guess.
Nah, word.
Hey,
Nah.
as far as green beans go, I wouldn't put them at the top of the healthy green bean list. But,
Okay.
The green bean.
Oh man.
but nah, you had it. You can tell
They were
us your
good.
honest opinion.
It was good. I got to give my boy flowers. He
feel like I
did his
did
thing
my
with the
thing
green
with him.
beans.
I saw what you made. I was surprised.
Feel me? Hey,
Okay.
hey, let's talk about it, man.
Yeah.
Feel
Right.
me? A lot of
Let's
folks. A lot of folks doubted me. You know what I mean? I'm looking for my camera right now because a lot of folks doubted me. A lot of folks told me, you know what I mean? Don't deep dive into them waters. You know what I mean? But feel me? My mama, she ain't raised no sucker, man. You know what I mean? So for real, when you tell me I can't do something, you're gonna make me want to do it even more, man. So I locked in.
Talk about how it happened, though. How you even how it come about?
So what happened was, we in this Friendsgiving
So
Partiful.
Mom's was on FaceTime with you the whole time?
No.
Okay.
So we at Partiful little app, right? So the host was like, all right, y'all, we gonna organize the Friendsgiving. Everybody put like what you're bringing. So everybody drink, sweet potato pie, cornbread, gumbo. I'm reading it. I'm like, oh, all right.
Man.
Oh, all right, they snapping.
Good options, yeah.
So I'm reading it. I'm like, wait, who making a Big Mac? I don't see no Big Mac on here. Like, we can't have no Friendsgiving with no Big Mac.
Right.
So I asked, who's making the Big Mac and cheese? And you could reply to the host message, but you couldn't reply to like replies. So nobody could reply to my message. But everybody started putting the emoji to this joint, the pointing emoji, like basically pointing at me that saying I'm making it. So it was like 5 responses on this, like with this emoji.
So you was under pressure kind of thing.
Bro, so it gets worse though.
Right.
So then the host texts me, and she like, wait, are you saying you about to make it or what? I'm like, no. I was just asking who was making it.
Because I want it.
Right. I was just asking who's making it. So she like, well, at this point, like you might gotta step up because folks nominating you in the chat. I'm like, well, I ain't never made no Big Mac before. I don't know if they want me to do that. So at this point,
I'm seeing behind the scenes too. I want you to know this. I'm seeing behind the scenes, and they're feeling like you challenging them. It's like, oh, who's making it? Like eye emoji, like that. Like who's doing it? Like are y'all stepping up or what?
Yeah.
So they feel like they challenged, and they had to flip it or reverse it back to you.
okay, so that made some important context.
Right.
So this girl that's hosting it is a professional instigator. So then she's sending me a group chat screenshots of like the girls group chat, and girls group chats is ruthless. They like, oh, well, we don't want the men cooking. It's giving salmonella. That's all crazy. So I'm like, ho. Now y'all playing with me. Talking about salmonella. This is crazy. So they all like throwing jabs, talking about, yeah, men can't cook. Just tell them bring a bottle. Do it. They like no bass, da. I'm like, oh, nah, this is crazy. Hold on. So then I'm like, all right, bet. Like, y'all, I'm going to make the mac and cheese then. So I had to lock in. You feel me? I made a little test batch, tested it out, worked the kinks out, got some reviews, you know what I mean? And then locked in on the main dish, man. You
He
feel
was
me?
taking it serious. He was taking
Bro,
the
good
test
for
batch
you,
and
man.
everything.
Where did you learn how to cook it up? TikTok University?
So I went on a bunch of TikToks, recipes, but I got to shout out to my brother, man, because his mom sent me her recipe.
Shout out mama, yeah.
Oh, shout out Mom
So she
Dukes,
gave me
man.
her recipe, man, and I was able to FaceTime her. I brought her to the grocery store with me to get the seasonings,
Everything
the
you
cheeses,
needed.
everything I
Yeah,
needed.
yeah.
And then she sent me a note, step by step. So
Man,
executed
good for
it.
you, bro.
Yeah, bro.
That's what's up, man.
Now, mind you, I am biased. My mom's a chef though too.
Oh, word.
Yeah, but so her mac and cheese is objectively the best mac and cheese I ever had though. So he had a hard task trying to recreate that, and he was over here locked in though. He was locked in.
Took
And
it
it was
real
cool.
serious.
The crew enjoyed it. Like everybody.
It was cool. It ain't last, did it?
Got smashed. You know what I
It
mean?
ain't
Got
last.
smashed. You know what I mean?
Right.
So-
And it ended up being a whole competition though too. That's the thing. It ended up having to be him against somebody else also making the mac and cheese.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
So
so-
it was the whole thing. We trying to figure out.
Hey,
who's
man.
better
I got
at
my
all of
flowers
this.
though, so it was cool. I was happy with that.
Right.
Nah, that's lit, man. That's dope.
Nah, for sure, man. So the last question we always ask all of our guests, man, on What's in Your Bag podcast is, who should we have next on the What's in Your Bag podcast? And whoever you say, you got to get in your point guard bag and give us the assist and help us get him in this seat right here.
Dang.
I throw that behind the back line.
Doing a live
Yeah, D-Wade to Bron.
Are we doing the magic jump?
Facts.
Man, we all know Ron, bro. Have him come up here.
Facts.
Have him come
Good
up here,
call.
man. Yeah, I think it's possible, man. I think he'll be a great person to have up here.
Yeah. Okay. So we all gonna get in his ear, man. All three of us gonna get in his ear, man. Get him on the couch.
Tap in.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Bullying.
But man, I really want to say, man, thank you, man, for coming on.
Thank you, man.
Obviously, I appreciate it, bro. We've been talking about this for months, but
for sure.
you know, we waited for the right opportunity. And I always try to end every episode giving flowers, man. And it's not easy, bro, to transition from being a hooper into that next phase of life, whatever you do, whether it's corporate, something creative. And I always admire people like yourself who have been able to make that transition gracefully and not only transition, but succeed, you know what I mean, and go above and beyond in that next field. So I just want to say congrats to you, bro. I'm proud of everything you've done so far, but we're just beginning, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I can't wait to have you back on the couch, you know what I mean, in a couple years, man, when you the actor that everybody's doing when you're in that superhero movie, you know what I mean, or you're in that James Bond movie, because God will move in incredible ways. So we're going to lift that up, man. But I just want to say thank you for coming on, brother. I appreciate you.
Thank you, brother, man. Thank you guys for having me, man. This is amazing. It's an honor to be, the first guest in the studio. Right. And what you guys are doing is phenomenal, man. I love to see just young, like-minded black men like ourselves, man, excelling, man, and pushing the limits. I'm here to support you guys, man. God bless y'all, for real. Thanks for having me.
For sure, man. All right, guys, this has been another episode of the What's in Your Bag podcast presented by Bet Online. As always, remember to like, comment, subscribe, tell a friend, right? Leave us some feedback. Until next time, folks. Peace.
Yeah.
Bro, you remember when you came to D.C. and we went out?
That's what we meant, yeah.
Facts. Me, I was in the club strolling.
Facts.
Both of y'all?
So you weren't Greek by then, though?
I think I was right before I was about to cross.
I had just crossed. I was super noopy, bro.
Yeah.
Super Neo vibes, bro.
That's when y'all really do the most strolling, huh? Right when you cross.
Man, when you cross, it's like
everywhere.
you excited, man.
Yeah.
But you got to get it out. You feel
Yeah, facts.
And I was like, I'm retired now. I'll pop out for homecoming, maybe.
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? And that's about it.
Yeah.
Did you plan on crossing before you went there?
Low key, bro.
Yeah.
Low key. I knew I was going to be a noob. Like, you know what I'm saying? My brother was pledging back in 2014. And he introduced me to, Greek life.
Okay, so you was already.
So when I went to Mars, I was already like, yo, where the noobs at? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to play ball, but like, where we at? You know what I'm saying?
Because you won't really think about it like that, right?
That's like out of college.
Yeah.
That's how it normally goes.
Yeah.
But okay, if you got a brother that's already crossed, and it's like, it's different.
All right, cool. So we can say some gems for the pod, man. Say some gems.
Word. Those are all gems right there.
Nah, facts.
Suave. I've been in my bag for a while, I'm invincible. Story of a young boss, grinding shit get critical. Calling on my bros one time, cause you special. I had some hoop dreams of right rounds for my mental. Every target that I shoot is on point like a pencil. Different route, changed relationships, I'm so sorry. Came up from the trenches and I made it, I say hardly. Now